Sri Lanka has declared public holiday for every Wednesday. That every Wednesday is public holiday until the war in until the war in Iran comes to an end and there is a meaningful way is resolved such that fuel can navigate the Strait of Hormuz. The reason why Sri Lanka declared public holiday every Wednesday is to contain fuel shortage and to ration fuel. They are running out of fuel. The reason is because the Strait of Hormuz is where 90% to 100% of their fuel is coming from. Most of the fuel that Sri Lanka uses come from the Middle East. When the conflict in Iran and Israel started, it paused distribution. And with the attack now across major oil fields in the Middle East, there is high risk that Sri Lanka may suffer. So Sri Lankan government have declared Wednesday a public holiday. So it means in Sri Lanka, they are supposed to work for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday and Sunday is weekend plus Wednesday. So these 3 days, the government says, because these 3 days activities will not be heavy, and so there's high chance that so many people will not demand for fuel. A similar situation is occurring in Thailand. As I'm talking to you, Thailand has asked for citizens to be more responsible and avoid driving their personal cars to work. That they should not start using public transport to reduce too much dependence and demand for fuel, and also to stop using AC, because most of the time the AC they are using, they generate it using some of the listers, and also the electricity generation company depends more on gas because of shortage of gas. And there are other nations that are rationing fuel and are cutting down some essential costs. So you see, this war between Iran, US and Israel is going to really affect other nations. The prices of groceries across the Middle East have increased. In fact, prices have increased drastically. Transportation across the world has increased. So if Sri Lanka comes to a certain level to say there's public holiday, you should know that it's very serious. And also note that the African nations will start experiencing this as from the last week of March. From the last week of March, most of the supply that we used to have must have gotten finished. And so we'll experience an increase in fuel prices because of shortage, and thus don't be surprised that other African nations start granting public holiday because they want to reduce transportation. So in Thailand, they are encouraging people to trek to work, not to necessarily use transportation. If you can trek to work, and they've also told companies to also have it a bit ease on workers, especially those who are trekking, because of the issue of fuel. And you see, this is affecting other sectors. And as long as the war between Russia and Ukraine continue to kaboom and collapse themselves, it will be very difficult for other nations' economy.